Today I'll be talking about the 2020 film Host. This film was directed by Rob Savage, and it follows a group of friends that get together for a Zoom seance, but shortly after it starts, they start to disrespect the spirits and break all the rules, which causes a bunch of crazy shit to happen. Now, I'll be honest, when this film was first announced to Shudder, I kind of brushed it off. I didn't think much of it. I just assumed it was going to be another one of those unfriended knockoffs that end up leaving you disappointed. But after hearing a bunch of people hype about it, I decided to sit down and watch it for myself. And I'm really glad that I did because this film actually really blew me away. One thing that really stood out to me was the fact that this was actually shot and edited during the 2020 quarantine, which, as many creatives would know, is not a very easy time to come up with art, or to find resources to make your art. So a big ups to Rob Savage for that. Another thing that really stood out to me was the film's runtime. It clocks in at about 55 minutes, but don't be fooled by that, it's a very in-your-face and strong 55 minutes. The reason they decided to go with that time is because they wanted to base it around the free trial version of Zoom, which I thought was a really creative idea. Unlike similar films such as Unfriended, Host actually felt real to me, and why I say that is because the acting was way beyond my expectation. I also thought the film was really well edited. They didn't go overboard with any form of crazy, over-the-top, unrealistic effects that you'd see in most of these kind of films. They kept it pretty bare bones with the occasional call drop and, some internet lag. But those are the kind of things you'd actually expect to experience during a Skype or Zoom call. I like that nothing felt forced, which makes this film a great example of less is usually more. Of course, Host has its share of horror movie cliches, like slamming doors, people being thrown around, bottles being smashed on the ground. That's all to be expected. But what separates this from other films is the fact that these scares are actually built up and skillfully placed. They aren't just thrown in there randomly as cheap scares, which you see in most modern horror films, and for me, I hate that kind of stuff. Now, there's one moment I really have to talk about. There's this one scene where one of the girls brings her laptop to the living room, and I guess the Zoom filter on their computer actually picked up on one of the spirits, and then there was this floating face. And I couldn't stop laughing because all I could think of when I saw that was that magic mirror from Shrek. You know what I'm talking about. But other than that, I think the effects were really well done. Now, I don't want to spoil anything about the film, but I gotta say that the climax to this one was fantastic. What I do recommend is to watch this movie more than once, because there are small little things that you don't pick up on the first watch, so definitely give it a couple watches. So if I were to rate this film on a scale of 1 to 5, I would give Host a strong 4.5 out of 5. I think Host is the unhidden gem of 2020, and I recommend it to any horror fan out there. Plus, it's 55 minutes long. What do you have to lose? Thanks so much for checking out the review. Starting a horror YouTube channel has been something I've wanted to do for a very long time. So if you liked the video, hit it with a like. If you really liked it, hit it with a subscribe. And I will see you guys in the next video. Stay scary.